Have you ever felt life slam a door in your face just when everything finally seemed to be going your way? Maybe you prayed for an opportunity, worked harder than ever before, and still watched it slip through your fingers. In that painful moment, it feels like a punishment. But what if that closed door wasn't your ending? What if it was quietly protecting you from something you couldn't yet see? Stay with me, because this story just might change the way you look at every disappointment you've ever faced. The sun rose over quiet Brookhaven as Ethan walked toward the city's largest architecture firm, full of hope. His heart raced as he held a worn leather folder filled with years of hard work, sketches, and dreams. Since childhood, Ethan dreamed of designing homes that brought families together, starting with cardboard houses. Today was supposed to be the beginning of that dream. He smiled as he looked up at the towering glass building shining in the morning light. "This is it," he whispered to himself. The interview went surprisingly well. Ethan answered with quiet confidence, proudly showed his designs, and even made the interviewers laugh. When he walked out of the building, he felt certain an offer was coming. For the first time, Ethan imagined celebrating with family and entering those glass doors as an employee. 3 days later, his phone rang. His hands trembled as he pressed accept. The hiring manager thanked him for his time, but gently explained that another candidate had been selected. For a few seconds, Ethan couldn't speak. His smile vanished. His chest grew heavy. After the call ended, he sat alone on a quiet park bench, staring blankly at the ground. All around him, life continued as usual. Children laughed, birds sang, cars rolled past. Inside, his world stopped. He had prepared, believed, and done everything right, yet the door still closed. That evening, Ethan shelved his portfolio, wondering if his lifelong dream had always been unrealistic. Heavy, negative thoughts flooded his mind. Maybe I'm not talented enough. Maybe this is a sign to just give up. His grandfather, Henry, noticed the deep sadness in Ethan's eyes. Without asking too many questions, he invited Ethan to take a walk through an old forest on the edge of town. Walking beneath ancient trees, Henry stopped before a massive fallen oak that completely blocked their path. He pointed to a narrow trail hidden in thick bushes, nearly impossible to notice without looking closely. Together, they followed the smaller trail. Just a few minutes later, the dense trees opened up into the most breathtaking valley Ethan had ever laid eyes on. Waterfalls sparkled, wildflowers covered the hills, and a clear river reflected the golden afternoon sky. "If the big path hadn't been blocked," Henry said softly, "we never would have found this place." Life closes doors to protect you from danger or lead you to something far better than you ever expected. Those words stayed etched in Ethan's mind. Instead of giving up, he decided to channel his frustration into growth rather than complaint. Every morning, he studied advanced architectural software. Every afternoon, he volunteered to help local community groups renovate aging neighborhood spaces. Every evening, he practiced sketching until his hands grew tired. He stopped asking, "Why did I lose?" and started asking, "What can I become?" One afternoon, Ethan got a message from a nonprofit seeking a designer to build affordable family homes. The pay was much lower than the corporate job, but the mission deeply touched Ethan's heart. He accepted. The work wasn't glamorous, his office was cramped, and the budget was tight. But every single blueprint he drafted directly changed a human life. He watched real families move into safe, secure housing after years of uncertainty. Children laughed in backyards that used to be empty. Elderly couples finally had warm, stable homes to spend their retirement years together. For the first time, Ethan realized that true success isn't measured solely by a corporate paycheck. It is measured by the lives you touch. 2 years later, devastating financial problems struck the massive architecture firm that had once rejected him. Massive layoffs followed, and dozens of talented employees suddenly found themselves abruptly unemployed. Around that exact same time, Ethan's nonprofit work began receiving national recognition. His community-focused designs gained attention from investors, planners, and humanitarian groups nationwide. Soon, he received an invitation to lead one of the largest affordable housing initiatives in the entire nation. Before hundreds at the groundbreaking, Ethan remembered the painful call that once felt like the end of everything. If he had been hired by that corporate firm years ago, he never would have met those families. He never would have discovered his true, higher purpose. The very door he cried over had actually protected him from settling for a much smaller dream. As the sunset painted the sky amber, Ethan returned to the park bench where he once doubted his future. This time he smiled. The bench hadn't changed. The city hadn't changed, he had. He finally understood that rejection is not always a punishment. Sometimes it is divine preparation. Sometimes life removes a good chance because a greater opportunity awaits beyond what you can yet imagine. Every closed door leaves you with a critical choice. Will you sit beside it forever, mourning what was lost? Or will you have the courage to search for the extraordinary path waiting somewhere else? If you are standing in front of a closed door today, don't ever assume your story is over. Some opportunities end simply because they were never meant to define your permanent future. Keep learning, keep growing. Keep walking forward with faith, even when the path ahead looks unclear. One day, you'll see your greatest disappointment was the turning point that guided you toward your true purpose. Remember this, every closed door is an invitation to discover a better one. Sometimes, the life you've been praying for begins the exact moment your original plan falls apart.